For a long time, we've said stuff like, say what you mean what you say. Don't write a check your butt can't cash. But I don't think anybody ever really stopped to explain to others what that really means when we say it. So we have gone from generation to generation saying that same colloquialism, that same phrase, not really understanding what it entails. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial. Okay? I'm going to give you a quick training. When you say what you mean and mean what you say, that means to be sure about what it is that you're saying. Know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, what you're saying is in fact what you meant to say. It's not a threat. It's more of a promise. Well, at least for me, it's not a threat. It's more of a promise. And if you don't mean it, don't say it. If I don't mean it, I'm not going to say it. Because you don't want to have to backtrack later on. And for some, you might not be able to backtrack. So be mindful of that. Because if you are not, then there is always a great possibility of you writing a check your butt can't cash. Meaning, you ain't prepared to deal with the outcome of it. You are not really ready to accept the outcome of whatever it is that could possibly happen or not happen. So be careful of what you're saying. Stop using words as threats or ultimatums if you are really not prepared for it. You gotta do better. We all have got to do better. We are wreaking havoc. It ain't the devil that's doing it, it's us. Because we're saying any and everything. We don't care who we offend. We don't care if we hurt your feelings. You know, all of this foolishness that we're saying, knowing within our heart, it's really not what we mean. It's just something that we're saying at the moment because we pissed off. But I say to you, be careful, be mindful, slow down, stop and think before you speak. Because that very thing that you are speaking could be the thing that you don't want to face. Just stop it. You don't know what the outcome is of what it is that you're saying. You don't know how people will respond to what it is that you have said or done, or that you are making plans to say and or do. But you really need to be mindful of it, or at least you should be. A lot of times the stuff that we're getting caught up in is of our own doing. You know, and we're quick to say, you know, we blame it on the devil, the enemy. No, the enemy is in you. And we gotta stop. Take heed. Learn your lesson. And just cut it out. Grow up. It's too much stuff happening unnecessarily. Too many lives are being ruined unnecessarily. Whether it be your life or someone else's life. All because you couldn't control your emotions. You let things get the best of you. Or you didn't take heed.
Stay in the left 4 lanes.
If the person asks you to stop and you keep doing it, you keep going, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Eventually you're gonna find out what they're gonna do about it, because they're gonna do it. You know, you gotta stop the foolishness. You gotta want better for yourself. Everything does not require you to jump out of character, unless you are truly demonstrating that's who you are, that's what your character is. You know, no, it's not because you had a little too much to drink, because you knew before you started drinking that you was going to drink too much. So don't blame it on the drink. And don't expect people to accept that as an excuse because we knew that you didn't mean it because you had too much to drink. No. The issue is you having a problem with controlling your liquor if you're drinking. Sit down somewhere and stop dang on drinking. It's just that simple. But we gotta stop. Take accountability for your action. You screwed up. Say you screwed up. You know? I took that too far. Yeah, you did. And it does no good whenever you say, oh, I'm sorry, or I apologize. Tell me what you're apologizing for. Tell me what it is that you're sorry about. Because this way I'll know. So if it happens again, then I'll know that either the first time you weren't truly sorry when you apologized, which tells me if you weren't truly sorry the first time, then you definitely didn't mean it when you apologized the second time. So get it together. Come on. You know, we got to stop. We got to grow up. We got to do better. We got to at least want to do better. Change your thought process. Change your mindset. You know, for some of us, we are full of book smarts, but we don't have no common sense at all. And if we have common sense, we're not using it. Because we're taking other people's passive behavior or the calmness of another person. We take advantage of that. We want to take that and run. Because that person does their best to remain calm whenever I'm flying off the handle. Okay. It's going to come a day when they're going to get tired. And their response might not be as calm as you think. But we got to stop provoking people to anger. Learn to provoke them to love. Yeah, focus on provoking somebody to love, not provoking them to anger. If you feel like they're not loving you enough, then provoke them to love you more. And provoke yourself to love yourself more. Now, for some, they may say, you know, she fussing right now. Yeah, you're right, I am. If that's what it means, then yeah, I'm fussing. I'm not going to scream and yell because I don't scream and yell. So I did my best to turn the volume up on this phone so that you could hear me clearly. Because I don't want there to be any misunderstanding about anything that I'm saying. We as a people, we got to do better. We've got to do better. And remember, people are watching us. Even if you don't want to be an example, even if you're not doing it for show, even if you're not doing it to please others, whatever the case may be, remember, somebody is watching you. Somebody is watching you. And the way that you conduct yourselves can either teach them how to better conduct themselves, or it will help them to understand that the way that you're conducting yourself is definitely not the way that they will want to conduct themselves. And for some, it also teaches people that that's not the type of person they want to be associated with because of the way that we're carrying on. Now, I know sometimes things happen in the heat of the moment and we tend to get carried away, but see if you can bring that thing back under control. You know? Don't sit back and let other people's actions be what you use as an excuse to get you out of character. Don't do that. Focus on being the best version of yourself that you could possibly be at the best of your ability. And I know it takes growth to get there. It does. It's not something that can happen overnight. You know, for some, you may bump your head a couple of times before you get it right. And that's okay. But the thing of it is what is it going to take for you to learn? What is it going to take for you to accept it? And what is it going to take for you to make a change for the better? Huh? Yeah. So come on. Let's work on that. All right? Now don't do it for me. But do it for your sake. Okay? Do it for your sake. And I know there are times when things can happen or people may do something that, you know, causes you to react instead of responding. And whenever we react out of character because our emotions have gotten the best of us in the midst of it. And that's not something that we want. We want to be able to sit back and to respond. And in responding, it's so that someone can learn, not so much of